Hello and welcome to another Modpack overview. This time we're looking at Crucial to the refresh update. Down below you can skip through the categories. So if you're interested in a specific category, just look into them. I hope you really enjoy it. So let's start with the first category. It's furniture, decorations and building blocks. So in the first category we have Architect's Palette basically. So Architect's Palette gives you a lot of new blocks for like different environments, basically new textures, and it's way more survival friendly than some other mods. So as you can see, these ones are quite nice though, with redstone or with gold, so they're craftable with vanilla blocks, but well, a lot of new varieties for using that in your builds basically. Then we have bamboo blocks. So we have bamboo, but the problem is very often we don't have blocks with bamboo, and there's really no specific way to have some furniture with it. So this mod helped to make basically from bamboo new building blocks, new furniture styles. Then we have bedspreads. So bedspreads is allowing the player to add banners to their beds. And as you can hear, there's another mod up there. But basically you can add a pattern to your beds, and it was formerly known as cosmetic beds. But as you can see, you can put down your own pattern, which is quite nice for multiplayer as well, I think. Chicken's Compat. Well, this is actually a mod that has a variety of blocks, and it's very compatible with other mods. You can use these ones, for example, for cooking and stuff, for some of the food mods or cooking and crafting mods. And we have like new chains or bigger chains that hang from the ceiling in dungeons. So yeah, very cool to have these braziers here as well. Yep. Next one is chimes. And as you can hear, it's like quite loud, so you can put that a little bit down. You can actually click on them and then make a sound then. Depending on what material it is, it makes a different sound. I think it's very beautiful for having actually, it makes it quite an ambience, or a nice ambience, especially when you go through the woods or stuff. Then we have decorative blocks and the add-on modded compact. These two basically add new decorative blocks, like as you can see here, for example, like the chandeliers or some palisades. So this one does basically add a lot of new small blocks and old vanilla blocks to basically make new structure with it, like the palisades. We didn't have that in the vanilla one. Now we have palisades, which is I think very cool, and we have beams. Yeah, very cool. So look into it if you want to decorate your home or use it for building stuff. Decorative winter. So it's nice at the moment I'm recording in winter, so this mod is very nice, I think, to decorate your wintry, snowy home. We have festive chains. We have new tree leaves. Basically these ones are leaves actually in the winter, so the trees have a different look in the winter, or you can put it down there. As well, there's a tree that looks a little bit, yeah, without leaves basically. And then we have wreath, and all kinds of decorative winter stuff that come along with this mod. Then we have enhanced mushrooms. So mushrooms is basically a thing in Minecraft where it's only, well, it's edible, but you can't really do much more with it. Potions, you can brew potions with it, but you can't build with it. So this mod helps to use those mushroom blocks, and basically mushroom is now the new is now a new wood type. Then we have fish and planks. So fish and planks gives us new blocks with fish in these barrels, for example. It's basically a nice decorative block, but if you break it, then you can put it into your crafting table. Yeah. you can put in your crafting table, and then it basically gives you 9 of those things that are in the barrel. So it's nice to stack basically fish and to use it for like decorating. Then we have glaze symmetry. So glaze symmetry basically gives you new terracotta patterns and symmetry options. So basically very often terracotta had only one block, and now this one upgrades it a little bit and makes it look a little bit different, for example in the green one here. And then you can put them nice together, and well, it's changing the way how these look actually, and I think it's very cool because terracotta needed actually an upgrade, I think. So then we have lepton. So lepton, if someone knows quark, this is similar to quark. It has a variance of vanilla blocks, new vanilla blocks. For example, like the crimson one, you know where that wood type comes from another. The same with the warped one. So giving new stuff in the vanilla version, the possibility to craft into stairs, slabs, etc. Yeah, that's actually it. And as well, vertical slabs, as you can see, very nice. Then we have skinned lanterns. That's the 4th edition. Basically now lanterns have new skins, so you can craft different skins for them. I think they're quite cool, especially if you put them on the wall and let them hang there. I think that's a very cool look to use actually in decorating your home. Yeah, then we have storage drawers. This is a mod that is in a lot of mod packs because it's quite useful. You can basically put your items in here and it stores them for you, and you can straight see what item is in there, and you can fill them quite with a lot of things. The bigger storage is, or the bigger the block basically, the more you can put in. Yeah, very nice to sort basically your items. Then we have supplementaries. Supplementaries adds a lot of small stuff, especially decorative ones, like presents that you can wrap. So if you put a wrapping here or something that you can put around, then you can put the name to someone and give that as a present. It's quite nice. And a lot of signs and symbols here, or flags. We have an illuminator here, spring launches. So a lot of small stuff. Spikes as well. So if you jump on these ones, you get damage, and the mobs as well. So you can use that for traps. So last one in this category is window logging, which basically places, or well, you can place now glass onto stairs and on half slabs. So it's not as well. It used to be like this, that you can put it only on top, but now it fills actually like the small areas of a block, which is I think very cool, especially for building. It looks way better to have like these half slabs as well when it comes to like having these ones here. I think it's way better with this one. So let's go to the next category. So the next one is crafting and cooking. So this category includes all the mods that you need basically for cooking, or change the way how cooking is done or crafting is done. So let's start with Abnormal's Delight. So Abnormal's Delight is basically a bigger mod that is a lot of integration into other mods, but this one is an integration between Abnormal mods and Farmer's Delight. So Farmer's Delight is here, and you have a lot of new crafting recipes. You have passion fruit, dune platter, so all kinds of new crafting recipes. So you have a lot of new food varieties, and if you have a problem with one of those, you can look it up in the config file. Especially with all the mods, just look it up. So if you have a name or something, just look it up in the config file. We have as well pantries with this one, which you can fill like chests, but as you hear, they function like barrels. I think it's okay, but could change actually sound. That would be cool. So then we have Very Good. So Very Good basically, well, everyone who sorry, whoever had like tons of berries knew eating berries is so annoying. So this one helps actually to make eating berries a little bit nicer instead of having it very annoying and slow progressing. This one makes it less annoying. Then we have Cookylicious. So Cookylicious is basically adding cookies. Well, they were already in Minecraft, but these ones are a little bit different. We have strawberry cookies, banana cookies, mint, azuki, chocolate, and vanilla. And you can make them to blocks as well, like cookie tiles, as you can see here. Which you can use for like maybe decorating winter or so. Then we have Farmer's Delight. Farmer's Delight, it's a lot of new cooking recipes, and there's a lot of different new ways to cook now. You have crates as well, which I think is very cool, and tons of new food. This one is not all, so if you wonder, you can look it up online how many actually new crafting recipes are there. So yeah, make use of it and plant a lot of new plants to use them in your food. Then we have Neapolitan. So this one is basically adding new flavors. Normally you have a lot of new crafting recipes and new food items. This one is adding flavors and 3 things you can craft them into. So ice cream, shakes, or a cake, which I think is very cool. So with all the different flavors, you can make different kinds of cake, different kinds of milkshakes, or different kinds of ice cream. The other add-on to this one is Peculiars, which adds basically atmospheric foods. Atmospheric is another mod in this mod pack to the Neapolitan. So we have aloe, passion fruit, and well, I struggle with this one. Yucca, I don't know how you call it. Yucca, something like that. Anyhow, so yeah. You can basically use that now. Structured crafting, that's a cool one. Basically, we have this block now. It's a structured crafter. And with this one, you can automate basically crafting a block or certain kinds of blocks, which I think is very helpful in the vanilla type of game. So yeah, that's all in this category. Let's go to the next one. So let's go on further to equipment. So in equipment, we have a lot of new, well, kind of RPG mods, I would say. The first one is Antique Atlas. So basically we have the Antique Atlas here. And if you click on it, it spawns a map. And this map looks, I think, way more beautiful than the normal Minecraft map. And that's to the RPG style. It feels like Zelda or some old RPGs. So yeah, very cool. And the add-on to this one is Antique Waystones, which basically puts waystones onto the maps if you add them, and let them spawn onto this map, or that you can see them here on this map, which I think is cool as well. The next one is Bundles Plus. So everyone who looked into the updates, they knew like they wanted to do bundles, and they are not there yet, even though in the 1.18 I think it's not there yet. So bundles are quite useful to store your stuff, and you can basically do the same sorry, excuse me, and they have the same bundle behavior to shulker boxes, so you can do the same with shulker boxes, which I think is very cool as well. Sorry. Then we have chalk. So as you see, we have all the kind of different arrows here, and depending on where you look on the block, it sets the arrow into that direction. You have different kind of chalk, different colors, which you can use to mark basically a way in a dungeon to find your way back on. Then we have equipment compare. So equipment compare lets you compare your equipment. Woohoo! Okay, well basically you can see it here. Now I have equipped the crocodile chest plate, and the diamond chest plate has 1 armor stand more, and so it's quite good to see fast should I pick this item up or not. Then we have extra boats. Extra boats basically have 3 types of new boats. That's basically the furnace boat, the chest boat, and longer boats. And then we have with different kind of wood, basically new wood types. So we have acacia, oak, then we have driftwood. So quite cool. But these 3 new boats are added in a lot of new wood types. Then we have fantasy mounts. So wow, you are glowing. Well, this is unicorn. Quite nice, hey? So yep, there is now a unicorn in game, and my shader is kind of playing weird on me. But yeah, you have as well a golden whistle with it. You can feed diamond carrots them. You have as your new potion, and you have a new meal come with it. So quite cool to have those things, and it's also a 2-seater, which is I think cool as well. Then we have Farsight spyglasses, and well, this one is already in the game. A little bit different though, but I think it's cool as well to have it. It makes a nice sound, eh? Yep, that's cool. So then we go to mannequins. Yeah, well, basically you have now mannequins which you can put armor on and weapons, and you can pose them, which I think is cool. So you have basically chests, and then you can change the way how they rotate, and in which direction basically. So quite cool actually to pose these mannequins with your armor. Then we have paragliders. Well, a simple mod that adds a paraglider. Woo! You can use the paraglider to fly and go around. Quite cool. Then we have Structure Gel API. This one is actually more for modders, so it's in here, but you're probably never gonna use it. It basically is for creating structures and more for developers. So if you have to change something in this mod pack or want to change something with structures, this is a mod that needs to be configured then. Then we have waystones, and this is the last one actually in equipment, which is basically making you, well, it gives you these waystones, and then you can teleport between the different waystones. Sometimes it costs something depending on, but it's quite cool actually to use those to fast travel between your base and some other places. So yeah, let's go to the next category. The next category is cosmetics, ambient, and structures. So basically everything that changes the environment, how you kind of hear certain things, for example these frogs. If you quiet. Wow. Yeah, wow. Okay, so you don't, they don't want to quark when I'm there. The first one is abundance. Abundance gives basically the game new flowers and flowery biomes. These are just some blocks that you will find in these biomes. But it's very cool. A lot of new biomes and new flowers. Quite cool. Then we have atmospheric. Atmospheric gives 2 new biomes. That's the one that is rainforest biome and the dunes biome. They are both added to the game, and I think they're very nice to explore. So give it a try. Then we have autumnity, yeah, whatever. Well, basically adds an autumn themed biome with new wood types and new critters, which basically live around. So we have as well snails, for example, and it's quite cool actually to walk through these forests when, yeah, it's like a fall themed, wood type, and that's a fall themed biome. So I think that's very cool actually. So give it a try, go through them, through these biomes, and yeah, quite cool. Then we have Beiju blues, yeah. That's basically one biome actually, and that adds these new blocks. There are more than these ones, but it's just one new biome, and you have then thatch, which you can use to build stuff. I think it's cool because it's similar to like grass, right? To use them for stairs in a grassy typed base or something. So yeah. Then we have better badlands, which is changing the badlands biome. And as you know, a lot of them is like, well, badlands could be better. So this one does it better. And it adds new blocks, which I think is cool. We have a new terracotta style building blocks, which I think is very nice. Then we have Charmonium Reforged, which is basically adding ambient sounds and additional music, but it's all styled in vanilla style. So it's not adding something weirdly and fresh and modern or something, which is not, well, shouldn't be in Minecraft, but this one adds it like a vanilla style. Then we have Dungeons Plus, which is adding vanilla style dungeons. So as you see, like this mod pack is centering around to be as vanilla as well as adding a lot of new stuff, but not being so far from vanilla that it feels strange. So this one are quite heavy actually, so give it a try to go through these dungeons. They're hard, but they have nice loot as well. Then we have Dynamic Surroundings. Dynamic Surroundings, well, you can hear it the whole time in the background basically. That's that mod. It's like the chirping or the crows that go around, the frogs, all those things. So it is actually Dynamic Surroundings. Then we have Environmental. Environmental is basically upgrading the vanilla biomes and adding some new ones as well. So yeah, as you see here, these ones are trap chests. We have new bookshelves, so like cherry trees as well. Yeah, very cool actually to use these ones in a normal generation or a vanilla style generation actually. Then we have Frozen Up. Frozen Up basically amplifies the colder biomes, and it adds one mob, and you have like cake, truffle cake, which is cool. And you have like feather blocks, and these ones you have as well. You have a mug of milk, you have a mug of chocolate milk. That's cool, eh? We have feather, sorry, and we have frozen truffle, chili truffle muffin. Wow, that's cool, isn't it? Well, yeah, give it a try. Look it up. Make some milk and some chocolate milk. Then we have Fruitful Forge. So Fruitful Forge is basically adding the way how apples work in Minecraft. Normally you have the problem in Minecraft is like, well, there spawns one apple if you chop down an oak tree. Now this one is basically, you can pick them and they're gonna blossom again. So as you can see, now we have the buds all there. They blossom again, and then, oh wow, and then you can pick them again, which I think is very cool actually, to have something that is continually putting on apples and to continually not having to chop them down. Then we have Inferno expansion. This one is actually a change of the nether. So a lot of those things, all of these things are basically you find in the nether with this mod. You have new types of blocks. They are very nice sounding, I think. I like the sound. I like the basalt sound as well. I think it's a nice sound. But yeah, adding new stuff as well for glowstone. Then we have repurposed structures. So this mod is actually changing the vanilla structures and gives them varieties of how they can spawn and how they look. So it's all these structures are not as like, they are changed now, and it's harder to explore them. Like if you look into the tropical dungeon, for example, like those ones, I think they're very easy to go through them, and this one changes that actually to make them a little bit harder and nicer actually to discover them. Then we have Energetic Dimension, which is changing the end actually. It buffs up the end, it adds new biomes to the end, new mobs, new structures, and there are now towers to climb actually, which I think is so cool. And to have also blocks now added to the end. I think the end was kind of lame actually, and not so nice to walk through it because it's just so empty. This mod is basically adding this fresh feeling into the end. I think that's very cool. Then we have Towers of the Wild. Well, those of you who know Zelda know Zelda, wow. Now we have towers in Minecraft that you can climb, and on top of the tower is a waystone, which you can use to teleport or, well, just destroy it, to use it later on. But there's also a chest up at the tower, and it's nice to climb it up and to do a little bit of parkour, to have a nice view at the end. So that's almost all the mods. And now we have Young. So Young, well, the creator of this mod pack loved to put on Young's mods. So he did a lot of that, and he put better caves, better dungeons, better mine shafts, better strongholds, bridges, and extras into the mod pack. So all of these changes basically either the caves, the dungeons, or the mine shafts, and makes them way better, or the strongholds, and makes them so much better. So wow, the first time I saw someone discover a stronghold from Young's, was really like, well, what is this? Is it a whole new structure? No, it's just the old stronghold but upgraded, and it's so good. So yeah, props to the creator. And bridges. So we have bridges now that is basically between rivers and stuff, that you can walk over. That's, I think, a cool feature actually. And then Young's extras is basically adding more structures. You have like obelisk or smaller structures, outposts and stuff that are added. So yeah, that is everything in this category. Let's go to the next one. So next up is mobs and dungeons. I think it's one of those cases which is really cool. And yeah, let's look into it. Wow, that's a cool spot. So yeah, let's start with Alex mobs. Alex mobs is basically adding 43 new mobs to the game. They're mostly animals, real animals, I would say. Some are fictional, and there's a blobfish, the most beloved fish in the world. It's a blobfish who was added to this mob as well. So really cool. Then we have sapiens. Oh, cute little fella. We're gonna come over there. Sapiens is adding the way how piglins are behaving. You can basically you can breed them now. They have a similar behavior to villagers, but just, yeah, for the piglins in the nether, instead of just having to trade with gold, yeah, you can do all kinds of new stuff with them. Then we have savage and ravage. So, well, all of these despawned, I guess. I don't really know what happened, but basically they are added new. Wow, you were quite loud. New illagers, a lot of new illagers, and they are added new structures and enemies for them. So basically, you have to face new illagers, which are very hard to beat. So if you're in a raid, they are way harder now, actually. So the raids, I think, yeah, way more difficult to beat now with this mod. Then we have the Conjurer, which is actually adding a mob called the Conjurer, which is found in a theater. Where is he? Did he fall down? Oh no, he went there. And you can find him in a theater, which is his structure, and you can try to beat him. Give it a try. We'll see how you come back. So yeah, then we have Unnamed Animal. And it's only the capybara actually, which is added to that, to the game. It's only this small animal. Oh wow. Makes a weird sound. And they have a cute little noise they do. So yeah, cool to have them. Then we have Upgrade Aquatic. So Upgrade Aquatic spawns a lot of new fish into the rivers and oceans. So you can basically see how many like are added here, how many new mobs. So yeah, it's quite cool to see actually how much is added. Where there are sharks and all kinds of different other things, jellyfish, that are added to the rivers. Wow, it's quite get obnoxious. But yeah, really cool actually to see the water and stuff being upgraded with this mod. So let's go to the next category. So the next category is magic. I don't really like this category, but for those who like those things, I really don't like magic. But yeah, this is still in it. It's allurement. It's basically adding new enchantments, as you can see here. There's still more enchantments, but a lot of new enchantments are added to the game, which I think is, for those who love to play with enchantments, it's quite a cool thing. Then we have Ars Nouveau, which is, well, to explain it in full, it's really hard actually. It's adding a lot of new things to the game which are magical. Well, for example, like powerful wearables and tools. You have magical artifacts and machines. You can craft your own custom spells, and you can basically summon magical servants and stuff. So it's quite a big mod. So it will take some time to look into that. But yeah, if you kind of like magic, then look into it. Then we have enchantment descriptions. So this one does actually, so you can see what does actually this enchantment do. It, for example, here reduces damage from most sources, which is quite cool to see actually. For example, if you don't know especially what an enchantment does, this one helps you. Then we have leap. It's only adding this enchantment book, which is leaping, and this grants the wearer a mid-air jump. So basically you can double jump, which I think is cool and quite powerful if you want to, for example, jump over ravines or something. This one helps a lot. Then we have Nico's enchanted books. And this one is actually changing the appearance of enchanted books. So they have now different kind of skins, which I think is very cool. For example, the flame one has a flame here. Unbreaking has a diamond kind of shape, kind of look. Yeah, I think that's so cool to it looks a little bit different and not have this standard vanilla kind of look. Then we have Shulker enchantments. So basically now you have enchantments for Shulker boxes. You should look them up. They're quite cool. And I think they're quite helpful for like having Shulker boxes. And last magic add-on is basically Step. So same as Leap, this one is adding the enchanted book Stepping, which allows the wearer to walk up blocks, which I think is so cool. So you can basically climb walls and stuff. Or well, you can auto jump. That's kind of like what it does more, which I think is very cool. So yeah, let's go to the next category. The last category, which is Game Changer and Miscellaneous. So you made it. Wow, well done. Good job. You made it to the last category. So let's start with Better Advancements. Better Advancements changes the kind of the look of achievements. So I think it's quite cool. And to have it like sorted here on the side as well. And to give you new stuff with it with the achievements one. Then we have Better F3, which gives you more details to your current area and what is happening around you. So it's quite cool because some are very helpful. For example, like the light level, which I always struggle with, but I'm also a noob, so yeah, but quite cool actually to have more information about the game. Then we have Block Swap. This one is good for actually building because you can replace a block with a given block, basically. So it's quite cool. It just replaces one block with another one, which is cool if you just want to exchange one of the blocks and not, well, have to swap through your whole inventory. Then we have Buzzy Bees, which is helping to change the bees and wax. And there's also actually an add-on, which is the Bumble Zone, which you can add to the Modpack if you want, which is an add-on to Buzzy Bees, which I think is cool. It's adding a new dimension. But yeah, you can do now more things with bees and wax and honey. And also you have new beehives, which I think is cool as well. Then we have Carry On. So basically Carry On lets you pick up chests like this one. And you can go over now here and place it down. And you can pick it up and place it down. Yep, that is Carry On. Cool, eh? Yep, that is what Carry On does. So let's go to the next mod. It's Charm Reforged. Charm Reforged is a vanilla upgrade, and it's basically adding bookcases that can hold books now. So you can store your books down there, and it's visible actually to see the books. And we have also new lanterns and new blocks, basically redstone sand and gunpowder blocks and all kinds of new things. But because it's not just a decorative mod, it's in here. Content Tweaker. So with Content Tweaker, it allows you to add new games and blocks, and this one is probably more for developers. So it needs to be in here to change recipes or to add new items, basically. Craft Tweaker. Craft Tweaker is similar to Content Tweaker, but it's changed the recipes. And I'm very sorry, this one just adds items, and this one changed the recipes. And commands, you can also put scripts into that, new commands, and item properties you can change here as well. So if you have a block where you kind of like, well, this doesn't add quite up, it's a bug somewhere here, you need to go to Craft Tweaker, or for recipes, you can configure that mod then. Then we have customizable elytra. You can customize your elytra with this mod to change the looks. Basically colors and symbols and stuff you can add to that, same as like for shields or banners. Then we have default options. This one is changing the key bindings. So normally if a modpack updates, then all the key bindings are lost, but with this mod this doesn't happen. Even if you update this modpack, it's not gonna happen. Forgery. So forgery is basically adding a lot of new fixes. We have vanilla tweaks and some smaller features, which is basically just helping to improve the game and make it more playable. Then we have inspirations. A lot of new small things are added, especially building blocks. And you have some stuff like, for example, you can use bone meal on sand to spawn these, this died thing, this thing that are dead. Wow. Well, yeah, you know, these brown stuff are basically added, so you can bone meal now on and sand and stuff. Yeah, cool mod. We have potions, sorry, not potions, we have ink bottles with different colors. We have soups as well, stews. We have a north canvas, which is helpful to navigate, with redstone chargers, heartbeat, and also a new arrow. Then we have Jade. Jade is adding progress bars, so you can see status of items, you have painting, you have names of painting, you can see the armor on the armor stand, potion effects, so basically you can see certain new bars that weren't visible. Then GEI, so this one is probably known to almost everyone. GEI Tweaker, Yeet, Yeet, GEI. So all of these are basically are add-ons to GEI. That's the main mod, which is this one, where you can look up recipes, give your items basically very easily if you are in creative. So you just can pick it here. If you want to, just straight up here. Yeah. And Yeet is basically changing potions and effect descriptions so you can see them, and very useful stuff for the effects. And the Tweaker one, it's basically for hide. You can basically hide now categories, you can hide items, and a lot of new descriptions as well for GEI. Then we have legendary tooltips. So this one is actually changing the tooltip, as you see, like the the items. It has a nicer border, which basically this mod just does. It's like legendary items have nicer borders, and not so nice items have, well, just the normal ones. So you can straight see, wow, this is an item that's quite rare, cool. Then we have magnesium. So I had to disable this one for Optifine, but magnesium is basically the forged version of sodium, which is helping to increase FPS and fixes graphical issues. So if you want to have Optifine on that, you have to disable this mod here, so Optifine can work in this mod pack. Then we have mouse tweaks. That's, wow, this should be implemented into the vanilla style of Minecraft. So you can, if you do shift, you can basically move all the items like this with a mouse over. You can insert and extract, you can filter the items and sort them. So a lot of new new options to the mouse basically, which you can change as well. Then we have neat, which is neat. It's, you can see now a bar in front over the mob, which shows you how much health this mob has. I don't know what happened to this one. think he didn't want to go into the fences. Then we have notes. Notes is basically, we have now a notepad. You can write some stuff, new note, and then you can say, well, I wanted to save this one. And then you have a note and can look it up, and you can pin it as well. So if you have certain things, it's like, well, I want to do this one. I need to remember this and this and this and this. You can put down notes now. Then you have panorama. Well, okay, sorry. Panorama had a bug, I think. So basically, with panorama, you can take panoramic screenshots, which I think is cool. You can basically stand on top of the Tower of the Wild, basically, and then take a cool screenshot of like the whole world with this mod. Then we have patchouli. Patchouli is changing the way how you do certain things. For example, you can create your own documentaries, quests with progress things, and that's the thing with here, for example. That's mostly patchouli. And that's, I think, very cool to have a mod like this, but more for developers actually. Then we have personality, and personality you can see here on emotes. You can make emotes like cheer, which I think is very cool. You can clap. Oh, he's clapping. Well, not visible to me at the moment, but yeah, very cool to use in the multiplayer. Then we have Quark, well, a mod that probably knows almost everyone. Quark oddities as well. Well, Quark is a compilation of a lot of small extra things. It's also upgrading the caves with stalactites and stalagmites. We have new redstone. We have new building blocks. We have new mobs. A lot of small new things actually. And one of those things that I like is really the magma bricks. I think they're really cool. I really like them to use in the builds. But yeah, and Quark oddities is basically an add-on to Quark, which you can use to experiment more. So players can use that actually to experiment way more with Quark. Then we have Roadrunner, which is just an improvement actually, a performance improvement, and it's optimizing the game. Then we have screenshot to clipboard, which is very simple. It's basically putting screenshot to the clipboard. Quite handy actually to use. Then we have seals, and seals is doing basically displaying of titles and achievements, so you can show over your head basically, well, I did this, that's amazing, and that's cool, and that you can show basically over your head. Then we have second chance. Second chance lets you basically have half a heart. So if you have 7 hearts and someone would basically kill you with the next hit, then you get another chance and you have still half a heart. And this one is actually very cool to not just instantly die, but have one half a heart to use potions or something. Then we have shut up experimental settings. So basically everyone knows this annoying thing, which is basically you're playing an experimental thing, and then it's quite annoying, and this one removes that actually. Then we have simple Discord rich presence, which is well, a lot of more information for Discord, which I think is very cool. It's an implementation between Minecraft and Discord. Very, very helpful if you're playing anyhow with Discord a lot. Then you have sulfuric. Sulfuric is optimizing the light engine. If you know the phosphor mod, this is basically the Forge edition, which is I think very cool for usage for Minecraft. It's optimizing the game a lot. Then we have swing through grass, which is basically, well, you can swing now through grass and not, well, constantly click on the grass if a creeper is in the grass. You basically click on the creeper instead of the grass. Then we have tips. Tips is basically adding configurable tips. You normally see that in the starting or loading screen. And then you have on the left down side always tips. This one actually does that mod, which I think is very cool. And then we have toast control. Toast control is basically you have now control over the pop-ups in the corner. So normally if you have an achievement down low at the right corner, you have certain pop-ups, and you can now control that with toast control. it's actually used by a lot of mods in here to make like, wow, you did that, that's amazing. Well, this mod that does that actually. So yeah, this would be everything in this mod pack. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, leave a like, comment down below if you want, and see you till next time when we look into another mod pack. See ya!